work on another part. Actually, I don't have to work on this part too much, but I do want some kind of a header to go over that. I don't want just that paper there, but it can't be too thick because it still has to slide up under the envelope that will be under my paper over here that has the texture paste on it that's still drying. I don't even know if you can use heat on a texture paste. I've never had to. And I may just use a little. I have my stamps over here. What I'm probably going to do is put a light color of ink and then stamp over it with a darker color. Grab a piece of scrap paper here so I don't get this on my guest check any more than I already did. Because I'm just doing this for interest. Whoops, other way, Tommy. Really like this stamp. It's got the paisley and the flowers with it. It's very pretty. And I am just going to try to semi-line up the middle and top to bottom, which isn't going to be easy. Oh, I inked all over the table. That'll be okay. It'll be fine. I'll just clean it up. And that's enough, and I didn't have to add any bulk to the header on that. I also, after I put it together, sticking my finger in the paint, in the ink, I also splattered it with some of my Spectrum Noir and other along that line sparkle brush pens on that one. I got a little bit down here, but some of the pages didn't get any of it because they're just not exposed. And that's fine with me. I was just adding a little bit. And then I off stamped, that's a second generation stamp from the stamp that I put there. I just went and put it at the bottom of that last one. I am probably going to go ahead and ink around the edges of this. I'm not sure yet. I might. I think I will. But it's kind of haphazard. What gets it, and what doesn't, doesn't. I think it's because I'm sitting here waiting for texture paint to dry, paste to dry, and waiting for glue to dry. I'm not a good waiter in that aspect, I guess, because I want to be doing something. I was out of my studio for so long that I just want to be doing something all the time. And I can't always just be doing something all the time. It's not how it works. It's not how any of this works. Okay, so we were supposed to make a top tuck with a mystery, still working on that, and use guest checks, flowers, and paste or texture medium. I'm going to see what happens if I use my heat gun on this, just because my impatience, which normally I'm pretty patient. People will tell you I'm pretty patient. I think they're wrong, but I am going to just see what's the worst that could happen. I've got to redo it. Big deal. All right, so cover your ears. Okay, don't use a heat gun on your texture paste because I'm like, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. And then I look here and it's bubbling and boiling. So get patience if you're going to work with paste. Now I have bubbles in it. Now I could see that being a cool effect if that's what you wanted, but now I'm afraid to try it again because if it's going to bubble on my paper, does that mean that it's flammable? Is it flammable? Is it flammable? It doesn't say. It's acid-free and non-toxic. To use, apply paste to a surface with a palette knife and allow to dry. To color, well, it says allow to dry, so I guess that means don't force it to dry. And then you can colorize it by mixing in paint or a re-inker using a palette knife, if you're doing that wet. And then, or you can colorize it dry with paint or a crayon. And then to clean, use water. Clean paste from tools and surfaces while wet. Don't let it dry on your stuff that you don't want it on. And apparently don't heat dry it. So guess what we're going to do now? We're going to wait a little bit longer. All right, so while we're waiting a little bit longer, I'm inking these flowers. I don't have to cover the entire surface completely. But I do need to make it look like an effort was made to not just have it hanging out like that. Not because of what anybody said to me, but because I just don't like that. And I don't want it to look like that. Oh, gosh. All right. So that was aged mahogany, and now I'm going to grab my brush and do some of the fired brick. If you use two colors, it gives it just a little bit more depth on whatever it is that you're working on. And I feel like the brush might reach places that the dauber didn't. Might hit spots that it didn't. Well, especially where a leaf was covering it up and I didn't even dauber it. All right, and where was the leaf that I had to fix? I can't even tell where it is, so that's fine. I am going to hit the edges of these leaves up here, just because I see white on the edges. It's supposed to be white in the center. I don't mind the white in the center, but I want the edges to look like they have been purposefully addressed. And I don't think I can do another thing until that is dry. I know where it's going. It's going to go right here. This is going to tuck up underneath on the page because it's a top tuck. And this is going to be just tucked into the pocket behind here. Be easier to do if I wasn't trying to avoid destroying the texture paste. This needs to be folded a little further down. That's the problem. Let's just take it all the way down to there. I couldn't figure out why I was seeing white, and I shouldn't be seeing white, and it's because the back was higher than the front. Actually goes right there. Get up behind there. There we go. There, that's what it's supposed to look like. This envelope needs to come down here just a little. All right, so there's that. And then when it's on the page, this slides right up into the pocket that's formed in the back. So it looks like it's supposed to be a top tuck. This is supposed to be there. You just don't know that you can pull this paper out of the top, which I don't think I can do right now until all of that is dry. So that's what it looks like completely assembled. I still need to ink this, and I think that I am going to put some of my gems that are right here inside the centers of those 3 flowers. Right, but I'm not going to ink it until after it's dry, because I'm still waiting for it to dry in certain parts. So I'll set that to the side. When it's dry, I will finish it, and you'll get to see the finished. When it's dry, I will finish it and you'll get to see the final product. There we go. All right, so this is finally dry. And I will tell you, please don't use the heat tool on it. I thought, well, maybe the bubbles would add a little bit of interest to it, maybe to do it on purpose when I tried heating it with my heat gun to hurry up the drying. And it just doesn't look as nice as these over here that I did not attempt to heat dry. So, you know, you try things, you find out it doesn't work, and then you go on, right? All right, I am going to, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and ink up the edges of this. I'm trying to decide if I want, which one I want. Do I want that? Or do I want that? I think I want this one. And again, this is the aged mahogany, and I'm just going to ink around the edges because there's white from where the digital was painted. Yeah, it was painted by the printer. Where it was printed on the white paper. So you're going to have that white core. You would have that even if it was printed on both sides, because the ink just does not sink that deep into the paper. And I have a thing about white edges. I have a video where I show you what going the extra step of inking the edges this way even does, what a difference it makes. Now right there, I can't get the ink to stick because of the texture paste. And you can see that there's white spots. Well, I don't know if you can, but I can. That may be hard to see on camera. Yeah, I can't get it to focus on that. But take my word for it. It's there. Or it's not there, which, as the case may be. Either the white's there or the ink's not there. All right, so I used these on another project, and I think I'm going to use them on this one too. I'm going to put one in the center of each of these flowers. I think that'll be pretty, and it'll pick up on the gold centers of the flower topper for the hidden mystery part. So yeah, I like that. I'm trying to decide what all I want to do before I attach it to the envelope, because I'll have to take it off so that I can attach it flat to the envelope, but I kind of want to know where I'm going from there. So yes, I like that, and I already splattered it with some of my Spectrum Noir markers, and I did it with a clear one. Nope, that's just light blue, but it looks very silvery because the light blue kind of disappeared into the page and just left the silver part of the Spectrum Noir has glitter in it, and so that's what's showing in there. So I may have to come back with a gold one, or I don't know, something else. I don't know. I may leave it like that because the silver actually looks good with the blue. But I think that that's going to be it on the decorating, is I'm going to add those, and then if I decide to come back with another marker, that'll be done. All right, so here's the envelope, and remember that this is going to be glued to the page. This is going to be flat, and then when it gets glued to the page as a pocket, it will be glued here and here as well. And imagine you're the page. This is what's going to happen, is that's going to slide up in there to be a top tuck. And then going on behind this, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this process has taken a long time. This will pull out. This will still be there. So you won't see that action that you just saw. It'll just be like that, except put in a little bit neater because I'm trying to hold it all together. Which, story of my life, I'm trying to hold it all together. Okay, so I am going to get my scrap paper and put it in here so I don't accidentally get glue on a part that I don't want to get glue on. I'm going to glue all of this, and then I'm going to put this on there. And I do want to get right to the edges. I don't want any part without glue on it, including these edges, especially these edges. I forgot which way was up. This way. All right. And so I want to line this up down here. And remember, my paper here is just slightly larger than the card. So I want to make sure that it is centered. So it needs to scoot over just a little. Just a little. There we go. All right, so I should still have a pocket here, just like that. This card will slide into that pocket. Just like that. And then here is the top tuck. All right, so I just need to glue these on there and it will be done finally. I think other than waiting time, this one took the longest because I had so much engineering I had to figure out. But I like it. I like it. I think it would go quicker next time because now I know what to do instead of having to do all of the figuring here. But I wanted you to kind of see my process as well when I'm trying to come up with something that is different from anything I've made before and that I've not seen anybody else make before. All right, so there you go. I like it. That is a top tuck with a mystery. And there's my mystery, is that pulls out, because it looks like it's just a decoration, doesn't it? If you didn't know, you wouldn't know. And I used paste or texture medium, and I learned a lot on that. I used flowers, and then there's flower print on there, and then I've got a flower stamp on there somewhere. And guest checks, which I made to go up under the top tuck. All right. I like it. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, be kind. Bye.